Nigeria is divided into the north. You might want to say northeast and north central, northwest, middle belt, southwest, southeast, and of course recently south. A former governor of Kaduna State, Balarabe Musa, has said that the only way out of the numerous challenges confronting Nigeria was to divide the country into 6 regions. He said, let us restructure the country and go back to the regional arrangement. And so we should also abolish the states and go back to the regions. Instead of the 36 states, we can divide the country into 6 or 7 regions. I know that a lot of people are calling for a total break of Nigeria. They are not ready for a decentralized government or any of those ideas no more. People are calling for a total break. Now, there are some people in some quarters saying that if the nation breaks this way, there are going to be some countries that are going to be, they are going to have hard times. And I feel that pain before gain anyway. I think if they can harness the resources they have in their country, they should be able to put themselves in order. And people pointed to Gambia, a small nation that should have been together with Senegal. And they said, can you see how Gambia is and all of that? And I said, well, there are smaller nations in other parts of the world that are doing fine. All that needs to be done is transparency and they make sure that corruption is eradicated. With this, the small nation can grow. Musa said the call for restructuring was valid, but insisted that those agitating for it should be able to make it clear to Nigerians what restructuring constitutes. Of course, I am not a supporter of restructuring or whatever it is, because you don't restructure something that is decay. You break it down and you build something new. He said those calling for restructuring must think of what will unite the country and make Nigerians proud of themselves and of their country. As far as we are concerned, our restructuring idea is what will not weaken our regional government. When we had regional government, we had more responsible leadership and we had more progress. He said Nigeria must return to the regional arrangement where we had Eastern region, Northern region, Western region, and later Mid-Western region. And I think that there is going to be something called South-South region soon with all of this that is out there. The former governor pointed out that during his period, there were more sense of responsibility in the leadership and coordinated progress. So let us go back to that arrangement. He said with each regional government, there will be productivity. He said that the states and local governments are not the way out of this. On insecurity, Musa said it was unfortunate that the situation is more alarming in the north, where the president is from. As you know what happened in Katsina State, where Buhari is from. In fact, recently, some bandits or terrorists kidnapped they held the town, the village. The village is under siege. They barricaded everywhere. We are talking of a country that has military. Come on, this is Buhari's government. It's a civil war. It's a civil war. The man, he lacks ability for anything. Unfortunately, he somehow got away to get in there. He described the President Muhammadu Buhari and his political party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, as incompetent. Hadn't that both the ruling party and the main opposition, People's Democratic Party, PDP, must be stopped from ruling the country? Of course, I like the word, the expression ruling. They are not leaders. The state of insecurity as a result of other aspects of the negative state of the nation, for instance, the level of poverty, unemployment, and level of corruption, stealing and waste of resources, which apply to the whole country, particularly in the north. The president and his party are clearly incompetent, and the governors throughout the country, except very few of them, are either ignorant or grossly irresponsible. And when you talk about the ignorant politicians, I also want to point to the ones that are that call themselves legislators. They are stupidly ignorant, you see. And you see, for example, one of them was asked what he has done, being that he's been there for a while now, and what is the project? What have you done differently? he talked about how how they've improved, how they've made, how they've made kilishi in the north, how they've done that for 30 years. So when you look at all of this, it makes you want to wonder what's going on here. You will wonder what's happening. It's terrible. I'm telling you, this is terrible. In case of restructuring, I'm not in support of restructuring in any way. I believe Nigeria should be broken into 6 regions or as much as possible. That's it. Now, some people say, Balaribe, you are articulate, unbiased, patriotic, and all of that, while some say that he is one of the old politicians that destroyed the country. Well, I want to say that there are people that are part of the former government when we were in the regional system, even when we had indirect rule and all of that. Many of them, their hands were tied, and many of them knew no better. You see, many of them felt that they were doing the right thing whilst they weren't doing the right thing. So I want to accuse every elder to be part of the problem that we have. Of course, we have majority of them that are part of the problems that we have at the moment. Many of them are military generals. Some of them are dead. Some of them are alive. Many of them are civilians. They are part of the problems that we have. And as it is, it seems as if the country is a complex contraption to govern. It's so complex as there are different opinions. And with this confusion here and there, and it makes it very difficult. But then, when it comes to stealing of money, there is no confusion. So a lot of people looked at all of these challenges that we have in Nigeria, and they feel that the only way out of this is for a total break. Let everybody mind his own home, his own house, and manage and do what he needs to do. That's what is what people. So a lot of people have been repeating. While there are people out there that are kind of in support of what is happening, and I call them the typical Nigerians. Why? Because they believe that if Nigeria breaks apart, it will be difficult for them to achieve what they need to achieve, as they love the structure as it is. They think a day will come for them to get in there and do what they are seeing: rob, steal, kill, and destroy. They believe a time will come for them to loot too. So that's why they are in support of what is not working for the general populace, for the masses. They are interested in what works for them. So when you look at them, they speak. And when whatever spews out of their mouth, you see inside of this selfishness, greed, and many other things there. Well, someone said that Balaribe has said it all. Good idea of breaking Nigeria into 6 regions, but making the Central Federal Unit a weak one with 1 president and regional vice presidents without National Assembly. And among the 6 vice presidents, the region slated president rotation becomes president among the 6 vice presidents. The other 5 vice presidents become the body of our national upper house, whose vote supersedes the president. The regional government must take full responsibility when it comes to leadership, to manage resources, and contribute their quota to the center of the federal unit. The region control their security. Each region control their states or their approved local government unit. This restructure will reduce corruption and improve confederation in sport and competitive economics and reduce unemployment. Well, let's say back in those days, this would have worked. But now we are in a more complex society, and things are kind of different now. I do not see this working. This is called restructuring. That might, like I said, work before. This is not going to work at all. This is not going to work at all. You know why? Because what we have right now is still the same group of criminal, corrupt politicians. They are the ones that will find themselves there. Since they've been there, they know the structure, they know the in and out of how to run the show, they know who to call on, and they know how to run the show. So they will end up with this kind of decentralized system. They will end up being the same vice president, the same people that you know before. They will end up being the vice president. They will end up being the weak, the weak unit, the federal unit, the weak one. They will end up being the local government chairman. They will end up becoming every of those things. And together, they will kind of cooperate together. You don't need to even Senate. They will cooperate together amongst themselves to still actualize the same thing. You see, these people have the same, they understand only one language. And that's it. So I do not see this working at the moment. What I see working is a total break up, nothing more. A total break up, so everyone can manage themselves. If you are breaking away and you are not ready to do the right thing, if you are going to you're not going to have food to feed yourself, then that is your own problem.